This is Caroline Ryder, and we are filming or have filmed my first official session with a new horse we have in training. Her name is Dulce. Dulce is a 9 or 10-year-old registered half Andalusian thoroughbred cross, and she has spent about the last 9 months pretty much without any human contact. We had her at our farrier's farm with another horse, his horse, and he works pretty much 24/7. So she has had absolutely minimal handling, to the point where she was absolutely unmanageable when it came to trimming her hooves, which she needs desperately. Now, what I'm doing is the beginning to my round penning approach, and this is the initiation process. You do not need a round pen. As you can see, we're out in a small divided paddock area, and the reason why I threw the rope at Dulce is I need to help to motivate and inspire her to try and join up and connect with me. So every time she looks at me, I stop and I wait, and all I'm doing is sometimes I smooch, but mostly I'm just standing there and my hand is out in the form of the horseman's handshake, and I'm waiting. So when she blows me off, I just put a little pressure on her and send her out. And then I go back to walking up to her and asking for permission to come into her space. So I'm pretty much matching her energy, meaning if she goes quickly, I'm going to move in with the same speed on some level. I certainly don't want to stimulate her adrenaline any more than necessary and escalate her emotionally. So I want to keep things pretty calm and relaxed, because that's the state of mind that I need in order to work with her. You know, any horse, you need a calm, relaxed, learning frame of mind. As you can see, Smokey's nose, and all of my horses actually, my 3 horses, Smokey, Sundance, and Legend, are at the fence watching. Yeah, Smokey's with Erica and the camera right now. It's pretty cool. They're definitely interested and concerned, and want to make sure she feels pretty good. There's Sundance and there's Legend. So the most challenging part right now for Dulce is to want to trust me, to join up mentally. When she joins up mentally, her feet will follow. That's with any horse. So for her, it's a huge trust issue, and that's really basically for any horse, whether they have behavioral issues or post-traumatic stress disorder or trauma, or if they're fresh, green, young horses, 2 to 3 years of age, fresh out of the pasture. They just don't know how to join up. And what I want to make sure with my approach is that I don't force it to happen. And that's why I choose not to be in the round pen. The round pen can give a lot of people a lot of false confidence. I'd rather be in an open area and give her the opportunity to leave me. And then I have to figure out where I need to be. As you see, I'm keeping my distance respectfully. When she stops, I stop. I'm not invading her space or her bubble. And I'm also trying to mirror her on some level. The mirroring is important to the groundwork, to the initiation, because that is what new horses do when they want to be accepted into the herd. They will seek out the horse most like them in personality, sometimes in body, physical characteristics. They will seek out the horse most like them and mirror them, and that's their way of gaining friendship and partnership. They don't force themselves. Wild horses are not aggressive or dominant by nature. You have strong personalities. Yes, you have alpha personalities, but a lot of what I see out there is people misusing that term, and the term dominant. When we use dominant only in reference to a strong personality. We don't use dominant to the point where the horse wants to be domineering. Horses are not aggressive by nature. They're natural followers, and that's what makes them prey animals, looking for a leader. And leadership is not about being pushy or dominating. A horse is about gaining a horse's level of trust and respect. And for humans, it's also about emotional agility and being clear and congruent in your mind and body. So right now is when Dulce continues to blow me off and not try, I will put a little pressure on her. That's all. The only time I'll put pressure on her. And then I will go back to asking for permission to come into her space. When she starts to smell the manure, I'm going to move her out. It's her choice to run. I'm not asking her to run. I'm not here to run her until she gives in. I am just trying to convince her by keeping her away from the other horses. I want to get the opportunity to prove to her that I'm worthy of her trust. And that's the only reason why I keep chasing her out. I just don't want her to get stuck there. I don't want her paying attention to anything but me. And I want to teach her to trust. And the only way I can is if I can keep her engaged mentally. And she's not engaged when she continues to stay focused to the other horses or on the ground or the manure. So I leave her alone and I go back to being quiet. And then I keep going back. I am consistently looking for the opportunity for her to choose to join up. That's my job. I want to discourage her from losing interest and getting stuck and seeking comfort and safety with the other horses. I want her to realize that I am safety, that I can give her that level of companionship and emotional comfort that she seeks. She definitely wants to. You see her often looking at me. It may only be for a second. You often see her licking and chewing, so she's definitely thinking about it. So I'm very careful when I approach her not to go too close. She'll tell me when I'm too close by looking away from me. When she stands and either faces me or does not look away, then I have the opportunity to come closer. That's when they tell you that you have permission to come closer. If they look away or move the shoulder away from you, then you've gone too far. You've pushed too hard. So now I have an opportunity to add more comfort and to scratch her and to love her with my touch. And she'll probably, she enjoys this. She's going to be really sweet and blow into my nose at some point. It's really nice. When horses exchange breath and blow into each other's noses, that is a sign of acceptance. That is a sign of acceptance of your friendship. No horse will let another horse into their space and sniff noses if they don't want to be friends. It just won't happen. And sometimes you'll get a squeal, and sometimes they'll kick up their front leg in excitement and joy, and that's all wonderful. So this is the first stage to gaining her acceptance and trust. This is what I call the initiation. This is what new horses do to gain permission to come into a herd. If they don't do it this way, which I have observed by studying the wild ponies of Chincoteague for years, if they don't do it this way, then they do not know how to properly socialize. This is the way it's done in the wild. She gave me permission. If she didn't, she wouldn't be standing there. And now I'm going to groom her and love her and ask for her to stay connected. Now I might smooch just a little. I might do a little just to call her back if she forgets about me and looks away from me. She's really enjoying that. And that's what you need to do, is find out what your horse enjoys. Make being with you the sweet spot in every way, emotionally, not just with treats. I don't have any treats on me. I'm not against treats, but I don't need them. Not right now. I don't want her to come to me or to accept me initially with a treat or because of a treat. And she feels that love. When I went to kiss her, she leaned into me and looked at me. They feel your heart's intention. Watch her eyes. Her eyes will tell you everything. They're very happy and very soft right now. I found a good spot. I'm not going to have to do this every time. And we've only filmed the first 2 sessions. And basically, she was an absolutely impossible horse to catch. And this is how you help that. And she doesn't not want to come to you out in the pasture out of disobedience. She's afraid. She doesn't trust. And look at her leaning into me and stepping into me. It's beautiful. The second day that we have filmed, that you will see shortly after this, she's that much easier to come to me and trust me. And then I start the haltering process and a little bit of my partner walking and lunging. I do all of it in 5 minutes. So before I use any technique on a horse, and before I teach them anything, I have to have their permission. I want them to want to be with me. It makes training that much easier, that much safer, that much quicker. Therefore, you have their mind, and the feet and the body will follow. So this is a process of acquiring her heart, her mind, her acceptance, her trust, her willingness. Look at her. She's totally engaged, very curious. She's not, look at her leaning into me. She's not afraid of the halter. You couldn't even walk up with the halter. She'd run the other way. And I'm filled with joy. I am mirroring her joy. My dogs feel it. All of a sudden, they come closer. She's happy. Look at her smiling. Her eye is soft. Sure, she's interested in what the horses are doing and what Jeff is over there getting ready to put up some fencing. She's very interested. And you know what? That's fine, because the minute I shift or move backwards and away from her, she leans into me and is joined up in her heart.